Chosen one, I need you to stop scrolling immediately. This specific encounter is absolutely not a random occurrence. The digital algorithms of this chaotic world did not bring you here today. My beloved, I need you to pause everything you are doing right now. Take one very deep breath and listen closely to my voice. The long season of waiting has officially ended. You have been wandering in a painful spiritual desert for so many months, but the grueling test is finally over. Heaven has been watching your every single move with intense focus. They saw how exhausted you were when you tried to carry the burden alone. They saw you crying in the dark when nobody else cared to check on you. And just moments ago, a divine scroll with your name on it was finally unsealed. The ultimate confirmation has been approved. God has finally seen the exact thing he was waiting to see from you, and every single thing in your reality is about to shift permanently. I need you to understand the absolute gravity of this moment. Do not swipe away from this message. If you leave this screen right now, you will miss the most crucial instruction of your entire life. The massive blessing is already descending into your physical reality, but there is a deeply hidden mechanism you must fully understand to receive it safely. If you walk away now, you might single-handedly block the greatest miracle heaven has prepared for you. You have felt a very strange energy hovering around you all week. Your spirit has been incredibly restless, and your mind has been racing without a clear reason. You probably thought it was just terrible anxiety, because your body is carrying the heavy weight of unanswered prayers. But it is actually the undeniable frequency of a timeline jump. Your soul knows that a major door is violently swinging open right now. You are feeling the physical shockwave of a generational curse breaking apart forever. What was the one single thing God was waiting to see from you, and why did heaven remain completely silent while you begged for a simple breakthrough? And why is every locked door suddenly flying open at this exact second? I am going to reveal the exact answer before this urgent message is over. But you must promise to stay with me. The darkness is absolutely desperate for you to leave this space right now. The enemy wants you to keep scrolling mindlessly through the noise. They want you totally distracted by temporary things, so you miss your divine appointment today. Because the moment you hear this powerful truth, their dark grip over your life is permanently destroyed forever. You are standing at the absolute edge of your promised land. Look at your life over the past 12 months. The spiritual attacks were relentless, and they were designed to break your spirit completely. You were stripped of everything that felt safe and familiar. People you trusted deeply suddenly walked out of your life without a single explanation. Opportunities evaporated into thin air just when you needed them the most. You genuinely thought you were being punished, but heaven was actually orchestrating a radical and necessary clearing, because God was aggressively emptying your hands to prepare you for a miracle. He had to empty your hands so you could hold the tremendous weight of this new blessing. If he had given it to you sooner, it would have absolutely crushed you. But now you are entirely ready. Your spirit has been forged in the hot fire of total isolation. The guardian angels have reported back to the highest throne room. They confirmed that you did not break under the intense pressure, and you proved your absolute loyalty to the divine plan. You held onto your pure heart when the bitter world gave you every reason to turn cold. That is the true and undeniable mark of a master of reality. And that is exactly why this urgent transmission is intercepting your feed right now. This is a highly secure channel of divine revelation. Do not let anything distract you for the next few minutes. The stakes have literally never been higher, and your full attention is required to receive the blessing. Make a solemn promise to your future self right now. Promise that you will not let this sacred message fade into the daily noise. The secret, embedded in these specific words, is the literal key to your final breakthrough. If you miss this vital key because you were too distracted to listen, the heavy door of opportunity will remain locked for another entire cycle. You have suffered way too much to walk away empty-handed today. Your time of harvest is demanding your immediate focus. I want you to feel the energetic shift happening in the room around you. We are about to expose the deepest and darkest secrets of your waiting season. I will show you exactly why the agonizing silence was actually a brilliant protective shield. You will finally understand what heaven was waiting for. And when that profound realization fully hits your spirit, you will never walk through this world the same way again. Stay locked in with me. The final activation is officially beginning right now. Listen to me very carefully. You have been running on pure adrenaline and empty hope for far too long. Your physical body is absolutely exhausted. Your shoulders are tight with invisible burdens. You feel a constant, heavy pressure sitting squarely on your chest. You try to take a deep breath, but it always feels shallow and restricted. This physical pain is not your imagination. The sleepless nights are taking a massive toll on you. You wake up abruptly at 3 a.m. Your heart is pounding in the dark. Your mind is violently racing with 1,000 different scenarios. You stare at the ceiling and wonder when the struggle will finally end. You drag yourself out of bed every single morning. You put on a brave smile for the world. You go to work and you help everyone else with their problems. But inside, your soul is screaming for a moment of genuine rest. I see exactly how much you have given to others. You pour your energy into empty cups. You offer love to people who only know how to take. And, at the end of the day, you are left with absolutely nothing for yourself. You sit alone in your room, and you just cry. You cry silently so nobody else can hear your breaking heart. You feel so incredibly isolated. It feels like you are entirely invisible to the people you love the most. They call you too sensitive. They tell you that you overthink everything. They gaslight your reality until you start questioning your own sanity. But I am here to tell you that you are not crazy. Your mind is not playing cruel tricks on you. Every single thing you felt was completely real. The subtle shifts in energy, the hidden motives behind their fake smiles. Your spirit detected the truth long before your logical brain could process it. Your intuition has always been razor sharp. You have this profound ability to read a room the second you walk in. You can feel the heavy sadness in someone else before they even speak a word. This is the heavy burden of a true empath. You absorb the pain of the world like a sponge. And because you are so fiercely kind, you try to heal everyone around you. You became the safe harbor for broken people who never intended to stay. You gave them your warmth. You offered them your unwavering loyalty. And how did they repay you? They took your light, and they left you in the bitter cold. They drained your precious life force until you felt totally empty. You gave them 1,000 second chances. You constantly forgave apologies that you never even received. You compromised your own boundaries just to keep the fragile peace. But the peace never actually came to you. Take a deep breath. Let that settle in your spirit right now. You need to hear this next part because it is crucial for your healing. The deep exhaustion you feel right now is not a sign of personal weakness. You are not failing at life. You are simply tired from fighting a relentless spiritual war that nobody else can see. Your physical fatigue is the direct result of carrying generational trauma on your fragile shoulders. You are the one who survived the storm alone. You fought terrible demons in the dark while the rest of the world was comfortably sleeping. You broke toxic cycles that plagued your bloodline for decades. That kind of massive energetic work requires a tremendous amount of spiritual stamina. No wonder your body feels completely broken down. No wonder you just want to hide away from the chaotic world and sleep for 1,000 years. But you never actually quit. Even when you were running on empty, you still showed up. You still offered kindness to total strangers. You still prayed for the specific people who deeply betrayed you. Your heart refused to turn cold, despite the massive trauma you endured. And heaven took detailed notes of every single act of pure grace. Your silent tears were collected. Your quiet suffering was never overlooked by the universe. Your intuition tried to warn you about certain people months ago. You felt a weird sickness in your stomach when they texted you. Your energy instantly plummeted whenever they entered your physical space. But you ignored that divine warning because your heart was just too good. You wanted to believe the absolute best in them. You convinced yourself that you could love them into being better people. You sacrificed your peace for their comfort. And this brings us to a very painful mystery. You must have asked yourself this question 100 times late at night. Why did the people you trusted the most suddenly walk out of your life? Why did your closest friends abandon you when you finally needed a shoulder to lean on? Why did that specific person switch up on you without any logical warning? The painful betrayal cut you deeper than any physical wound ever could. You replayed every conversation in your tired head. You searched desperately for the mistake you must have made. You blamed yourself for their sudden and cruel departure. But I need you to stop that destructive cycle right now. The answer to their sudden exit is not what you think it is. It has nothing to do with your worthiness or your perceived flaws. There is a massive hidden truth behind their seemingly random and painful absence. I am going to reveal the exact reason why they had to leave. And when you finally hear this divine truth, the heavy chains of guilt will fall off your tired shoulders. You will realize that the universe was actually executing a flawless rescue mission. But before I explain the spiritual mechanics of their departure, you must first accept your own total innocence. You must finally forgive yourself for loving the wrong people so fiercely. You looked up at the sky and begged for a single sign, but all you received was absolute silence from the universe. You prayed until your voice was completely gone. You genuinely believed that the Creator had forever turned his back on you. You thought your prayers were bouncing off a cold ceiling. The silence felt like a heavy punishment for past mistakes. But you were completely wrong about this quietness. Listen carefully to this next part. That profound silence was never an act of cruel abandonment. Heaven did not forget your name or ignore your painful tears. The universe was actually executing a strict spiritual quarantine around your life. God deliberately muted the outside noise so you could finally hear your own soul, because the world was violently drowning out your true calling. Now we must address the painful departure of those specific people. You asked why your closest friends suddenly walked away without any logical explanation. Here is the undeniable truth you waited to hear. They did not just leave you by their own choice. Heaven forcefully removed them from your physical timeline because they were secretly plotting against your spiritual growth. They were energetic parasites assigned to drain your new blessing. If God had allowed them to stay in your inner circle, they would have completely destroyed your harvest before it could bloom. You cried over their absence for months. You felt entirely rejected by the ones you fiercely protected. But that bitter rejection was actually God, functioning as your ultimate shield. Take a deep breath and let this powerful realization anchor you. The universe locked those specific doors on purpose. You banged on closed doors and begged for them to open. But behind those heavy doors were hidden traps designed to ruin you. If heaven had answered your desperate prayers back then, the premature victory would have crushed you. You were simply not ready for the spiritual warfare. You are a powerful cycle breaker carrying a generational assignment. Your energy frequency was rapidly rising during those lonely months. The toxic people could no longer survive in your new atmosphere. Their dark shadows were violently exposed by your blinding light. They felt incredibly uncomfortable around your pure aura, so they ran away and cowardly blamed you for the sudden distance. You genuinely thought you lost them forever, and you spent countless nights grieving the painful death of those counterfeit relationships while ignoring your own growth. But heaven was actually protecting your invisible crown from their dirty hands. The isolation you hated so much was a highly secure fortress. You were perfectly hidden in the dark room to develop your true power. A seed must be totally buried. Your lonely season was never a curse. It was a rigorous and necessary spiritual incubation period. God was deliberately delaying the physical manifestation of your dreams because your internal foundation needed to be completely rebuilt. He was not ignoring you while you suffered in the quiet shadows. He was busy preparing the perfect environment for your massive arrival. The delay was simply a divine recalibration. Please pay very close attention to my words, right now. Every tear you shed in that silent room watered your future harvest. You thought you were rotting in a terrible prison of loneliness, but you were actually sitting in a sacred chrysalis of transformation while heaven reprogrammed your mind. The universe stripped away your old identity piece by painful piece. You had to lose your naive empathy. You are no longer the weak empath who begged to be understood. You finally stopped chasing people who constantly misunderstood your pure intentions, and you decided to stand firmly in your own unshakable truth. Your silence has become a lethal weapon against narcissistic manipulation. They can no longer feed on your bright energy. The boundaries you built are totally impenetrable. You are becoming a master. God needed to isolate you so you could learn how to fight. He removed all your crutches so you would finally stand up and realize the immense power that was sleeping inside your spirit all along. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone. You proved that you do not need their fake validation to exist. This radical independence is exactly what the divine realm demanded. When you finally stopped crying over their departure, the atmosphere shifted violently, and a brand new frequency began to radiate from your healed soul. You accepted the holy isolation with a brave and open heart. You realized that being alone was vastly superior to being manipulated. That profound acceptance was a major key turning in a heavy lock. The isolation prepared you, but something else had to activate. This leads us to the most critical revelation of all. The isolation was just the empty stage being set for your victory. God cleared the entire room so he could watch your next move, because the next phase of your blessing required absolute emotional mastery. He was waiting for a very specific reaction from your spirit. He needed to see if you would revert to your old toxic patterns. I want you to picture a master goldsmith working in a very hot room. He holds a piece of raw metal directly inside the roaring flames. The fire is incredibly intense. The heat is absolutely suffocating. And while the flames rage all around the precious metal, the goldsmith does not take his eyes off the burning furnace for a single second. He is waiting patiently. The raw metal represents your tired spirit over this past year. You were thrown into a brutal furnace of painful betrayal and intense isolation. You screamed for the heat to be turned down. You begged the Creator to pull you out of the fire, but the master goldsmith kept you in the flames because he saw dangerous impurities hidden deep inside your heart. The purge had to continue. Those impurities were your deep attachments to toxic people. They were your constant need for external validation from a completely broken world. If God had pulled you out too early, you would have carried that dangerous poison straight into your promised land without even realizing it. The narcissists would follow you. They would destroy your new castle. He had to burn away every single counterfeit connection. This is the exact reason why the old people were violently forced out of your reality. They were not designed to survive the intense heat of your spiritual upgrade. When the raging fire got entirely too hot for their fragile egos, they quickly showed their true and ugly colors. They abandoned you. They could not manipulate pure gold. Now we arrive at the absolute core of this divine mystery. What was the exact thing the Creator was waiting to see from you? The master goldsmith only knows the gold is finally pure when he can see his own glorious reflection shining perfectly on its smooth surface. He was waiting for you. You had to stop reflecting pain. You must reflect his authority. God was waiting for you to finally stop begging. He needed to see you stand up in the middle of the raging fire and claim your rightful throne. For years, you played small to make ignorant people feel comfortable around you. You dimmed your blinding light because you were terrified of intimidating your deeply insecure friends. You apologized constantly. You hid your massive gifts, but heaven does not bless a shrinking violet. The universe demands absolute obedience to your own greatness. God was waiting for that precise moment when you finally said, "Enough." He was waiting for the glorious day. You looked at the empty room and felt total peace instead of paralyzing fear. He needed your strength. Stop grieving the trash he removed. Think about the ancient story of a forgotten shepherd boy. He was left alone in the dark wilderness to fight wild beasts, while his older brothers celebrated safely in the main camp. He felt entirely abandoned. His own family forgot him. But the wilderness was actually a secret training ground for a future king. The isolation taught him to strike. You are that exact warrior walking out of the dark wilderness today. You learned how to fight your invisible demons without anyone cheering for you. You stopped seeking permission to exist from broken people who secretly hated your incredible potential. That monumental shift was the trigger. The heavenly courts were waiting for this. You must look back at your painful losses with profound gratitude. Every rejected application and every ignored text message was a heavy brick building your new fortress. The people who brutally betrayed you were merely temporary actors in your magnificent origin story. They played their dark roles perfectly. You finally learned to fight. You wield your own sword. The moment you established that impenetrable boundary, the spiritual atmosphere cracked wide open. You stopped reacting to their petty drama. You responded to their cruel, silent treatments with your own lethal silence. And because you refused to play their toxic games anymore, your quiet authority absolutely terrified the dark entities. You starved the enemy. You took your power back. This is the glorious purge you had to experience. It was brutal. It was a completely necessary divine intervention. The universe has successfully evacuated every single threat from your immediate timeline. The heavy chains of generational trauma have been shattered on the floor because you refused to carry them any further. Your energetic field is clean. You are ready to receive. But how do you actually know that the fire has done its job? How can you be absolutely certain that your frequency has flipped the script? There are 3 highly specific signs manifesting in your physical reality right now. These 3 undeniable markers prove that your massive energetic upgrade is officially complete and the universe is finally responding. The darkness wants to blind you to these magical signs. They want you to think these incoming miracles are just random occurrences. But a chosen one never ignores the subtle whispers of heaven. I need you to brace yourself for this next part. I am going to reveal these 3 divine signs right now. The first one will completely shock you. Pay very close attention to your immediate surroundings right now. The universe is speaking to you loudly through undeniable physical manifestations. Your brutal purge is totally complete. Now, the ultimate reward is descending into your earthly timeline. There are 3 highly specific signs proving your frequency has officially conquered the darkness. These miracles are happening right now. Number 1 is the sudden and overwhelming appearance of repeating numerical codes. You have been seeing 1, 1, 1, and 7, 7, 7 everywhere you go lately. You glance at the clock at the exact same time every single day. You see these sacred numbers on license plates and random receipts. The dark forces want you to dismiss this as pure coincidence, but nothing is random for you. These numbers are energetic coordinates sent directly from the highest angelic realms. Heaven is showing you these codes to confirm your perfect alignment with the new timeline. You are officially locked into the frequency of massive abundance. When you see these sacred numbers, your spirit feels an instant rush of profound peace. It is the universe winking at you. Your download is complete. Number 2 is the sudden and eerie silence from your old enemies. The narcissistic people who used to terrorize your mind have completely vanished. They stopped sending those toxic text messages. They stopped trying to bait you into their petty drama. This total silence might feel very strange to you at first. You might even wonder if they are secretly planning a brand new attack. But I must assure you that they are deeply terrified of you now. Your newly forged boundaries emit a blinding light that burns their dark attachments. They literally cannot tolerate the high frequency of your aura anymore. Your spiritual shield is totally impenetrable to their low vibrational attacks. God has rendered your enemies completely powerless. You have starved them of your energy. Number 3 is the instant and effortless manifestation of your quietest thoughts. You think about a specific solution and it magically appears just hours later. A total stranger suddenly offers you the exact resource you desperately needed. Doors that were firmly deadlocked for 10 long years are suddenly swinging wide open. You do not have to force anything to happen anymore. This effortless flow is the ultimate hallmark of a chosen one walking in absolute grace. You are no longer swimming violently against the brutal current of life. The divine river is carrying you directly toward your generational wealth and profound peace. Your words hold immense creative power right now. Whatever you speak into the physical atmosphere is recognized as a strict command. Take a slow and deliberate breath right now. Feel the heavy weight lifting completely off your tired chest. You have suffered through the bitter cold for so long. It feels almost impossible to believe that the warm spring has finally arrived. But you must absolutely believe it. Your old reality of constant struggle is dead and buried forever. You are standing on entirely holy ground. These 3 undeniable signs are not just temporary moments of good luck. They are the permanent establishment of your brand new kingdom. You earned this glorious reality through your silent tears and your unshakable faith. The spiritual realm is throwing a massive celebration in your honor right now. The angels are literally rejoicing because a powerful cycle breaker has taken the throne. You might be very tempted to relax your guard completely right now. You see the beautiful blessings manifesting rapidly, and you feel entirely safe. The beautiful sunlight is finally warming your weary soul, but there is a massive hidden danger hiding right at the very edge of your promised land. A true spiritual warrior must remain incredibly vigilant, even during the harvest season. The dark entities know they have lost their main battle against you. They know they cannot destroy your new blessings with direct attacks anymore. So they have engineered one final and highly deceptive trap. They have created a brilliant illusion to steal your crown right at the finish line. If you are not absolutely prepared, this tiny trap will sabotage your entire massive harvest. I need you to listen to this next warning with your entire spirit. This is the absolute most crucial part of your divine instruction today. A massive counterfeit is preparing to enter your physical reality. It will look exactly like the beautiful blessing you prayed for, but it holds a deadly poison meant to destroy your new timeline. I will expose this fatal trap right now. The dark forces are in a state of absolute panic right now. They watched you survive the burning furnace with your spirit completely intact. They threw their most vicious weapons at you, but every single weapon shattered against your invisible shield. Now they are violently scrambling in the shadows because their time is running out, and they finally realize that your massive elevation is a literal death sentence to their dark influence. They cannot touch your physical body or your protected finances anymore. They cannot use those old, toxic people to drain your precious energy. Your new boundaries are far too bright for them to penetrate directly, so they have to change their dark strategy entirely. They are deploying their ultimate weapon of grand deception while you are standing dangerously close to the very edge of your promised land. They want to trick you into abandoning your post. This is the fatal trap I desperately needed to warn you about today. Right before your massive breakthrough fully manifests, a counterfeit will suddenly appear. It might be an old lover crawling back with a fake apology. It might be a brand new opportunity that looks perfectly shiny on the outside. The enemy dressed this beautiful trap to look exactly like your answered prayer, because they know how deeply you have been waiting. They studied your deepest desires while you were crying in the dark. They know exactly what you have been begging heaven to give you, so they manufactured a cheap copy of your greatest dream. They will drop this fake blessing right onto your lap. They want you to grab it quickly out of pure desperation, and they are preying heavily on the lingering exhaustion in your weary bones. But listen to your incredibly sharp intuition when this happens. A divine blessing brings profound peace that surpasses all human understanding. The counterfeit will bring a very subtle sense of deep confusion. You will feel a tiny knot forming tightly in your stomach. Your logical brain will say, "This is a great victory," but your spirit will feel totally restless and incredibly uneasy about the entire situation. Do not ignore that holy warning bell ringing in your chest. That is the Holy Spirit shouting for you to drop the fake gold. The counterfeit is designed to tie you down to a much lower timeline. If you accept this cheap imitation, you will completely miss the real kingdom connection arriving just 3 days later. You must fiercely reject the good to receive the absolute best. They want you to settle because you are tired of waiting. They want you to compromise your high standards for a momentary relief. But a true master of reality never settles for crumbs from the enemy table. You must stand tall and look the illusion directly in the eye. You must firmly say no to the distraction, because that single word will permanently destroy their final desperate plot against you. This is the final test of your brutal waiting season. Heaven wants to see if you will trade your royal inheritance for a bowl of cheap soup. God is watching to see if your spiritual discernment is fully activated. When you walk right past the shiny trap without even blinking, the entire dark kingdom will completely collapse in absolute defeat. They will have absolutely nothing left to throw at you. Your refusal to engage is the ultimate display of quiet authority. You do not need to argue with the people bringing you fake offers. You do not need to explain your high boundaries to anyone who questions your strict standards. Your lethal silence is the only answer they truly deserve right now. You simply observe the deceptive trap and let it dissolve quietly back into the worthless shadows where it belongs. I want you to feel the massive power rising in your blood right now. You are no longer a victim, easily swayed by pretty illusions. You are a highly trained spiritual warrior who sees perfectly in the dark. The universe spent years sharpening your inner vision for this exact moment, and the counterfeit cannot survive the blinding light of your intense gaze. You are now completely untouchable forever. Every time you say no to a fake blessing, your energetic magnet becomes 10 times stronger. You send a massive shockwave straight to the heavenly throne room. You prove to the angels that you finally know your own worth. And heaven responds to that supreme confidence by speeding up the physical delivery of your true reward. The real blessing is waiting right behind the disappearing illusion. You are literally one step away from the absolute climax of your journey. The dark clouds are permanently parting over your head right now. The counterfeit trap is failing miserably because you are armed with divine knowledge today. The enemy is watching you read their dark playbook, and they are completely terrified because they know they have officially lost control over your mind. Their reign of terror is over. Take another very slow breath and anchor yourself in this holy truth. You are standing at the absolute finish line of a generational war. Your ancestors fought this exact same demon and sadly fell for the shiny traps. But you are the designated cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and you are making the exact choices they failed to make. You are rewriting history today. The universe is incredibly proud of your unyielding stamina. You survived the brutal isolation and you purged the toxic attachments. Now you are successfully navigating the final minefield of deceptive illusions. The test is finally concluding, and your amazing grade is a perfect score that heaven will celebrate for all eternity. I need you to prepare your physical body for the massive energy shift arriving next. The moment of absolute explosive breakthrough is finally here. The heavy veil separating you from your divine inheritance is being violently torn apart right now. All the immense pressure building up inside your chest over the past year is suddenly releasing into pure light. You are standing directly in the center of a massive spiritual earthquake. The ground beneath your feet is shifting permanently to elevate you. You must hear this divine decree loud and clear today. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by a broken world. The brutal crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your energy demands absolute respect, without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline. Now, I will completely resolve the greatest mystery of your waiting season. What was the exact thing God was waiting to see from you? Why did the heavens hold back your massive blessing for so many agonizing months? He was waiting for you to stop begging for crumbs from the enemy table. He needed to see you stand up and realize your own blinding power. You had to stop waiting for a savior. You cried and begged heaven to send you a powerful miracle, but the Creator was waiting patiently for you to realize that you are the miracle. God needed your spiritual spine to turn to solid steel. He waited for the exact day you looked into the terrifying darkness and did not flinch. Your quiet acceptance of the total isolation was the ultimate trigger. You passed the impossible test with flying colors. The massive transfer of generational wealth and spiritual glory is actively downloading into your physical realm right now. Your bloodline is being entirely rewritten because you broke the heavy curse. You are the chosen one who finally survived the storm alone. Every single tear you cried is being converted into massive drops of pure golden abundance. The season of lack is officially dead. I need you to feel this incredible rush of euphoria sweeping over you. Every single closed door in your path is being blown off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit today? That is the undeniable frequency of absolute victory. You are officially stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The universe is rolling out the royal red carpet for your grand arrival. You are a highly activated weapon of light in a dark world. The dark forces that used to torture your mind cannot even look at your glowing aura anymore. They are completely blinded by the supreme authority radiating from your healed soul. Your enemies are watching everything they built crumble into dust, while a beautiful table is being prepared for you right in their presence. Your victory is absolute. Your words now hold the magnificent power of instant creation. Whatever you speak into the empty air is instantly recognized as a direct command by the angelic forces. You do not have to struggle or fight to get what you want anymore. The universe is literally handing you a blank check, signed by the Creator himself. You simply walk into the room, and the atmosphere violently obeys your frequency. Take a deep and powerful breath to anchor this massive download. Feel the heat of divine favor settling into the palms of your hands. The heavy crown of spiritual authority is being placed securely on your head right at this very second. You earned this magnificent crown by keeping your heart pure when the world gave you every excuse to become cruel. Your radical kindness was your greatest weapon all along. The pain of your past is completely erased from your spiritual record. The people who betrayed you and abandoned you are completely forgotten in this new glorious era. They will watch your massive ascension from a very far distance. They will realize exactly who they lost, but they will never be allowed to access your brilliant light again. Your highly protected gates are permanently locked. You are completely whole and entirely healed. The deep wounds in your chest have been stitched together with threads of pure divine light. You are thriving on the limitless energy of the eternal kingdom. The angels are literally singing a song of total victory over your life right now. You are the master of reality they have been waiting for. You have officially crossed the golden finish line today. Your activation is completely sealed by the highest authority. The heavens are completely silent again, but this time it is a silence of profound respect and awe. They are watching you step onto your rightful throne with magnificent grace. Embrace the explosive power surging through your physical veins right now. The waiting season is dead, and your era of total dominance has officially begun. Now, I want you to sit in this profound and majestic silence. The violent storm has entirely passed, and the heavy dust has finally settled. Look around your beautiful new spiritual landscape. The chaotic noise of your painful past cannot reach you here in this elevated space, because you are wrapped securely in a thick blanket of divine protection today. The air you breathe is pure and incredibly light. Your spirit is finally resting after the long battle. You have officially crossed the threshold from a weary survivor into a reigning master. Your exhausted bones are being infused with limitless cosmic energy. Every single breath you take right now is drawing massive abundance directly into your physical lungs. You do not need to fight or scrape or beg ever again. The universe is simply placing the grand reward right into your open hands while your enemies watch in total disbelief. You are entirely safe in this new timeline. Think about the incredible magnitude of what you just accomplished today. You did not just survive a terrible phase of bad luck. You violently broke a heavy generational curse that plagued your bloodline for centuries. Your ancestors are literally cheering for you in the heavenly realms right now. They are celebrating the brave cycle breaker who finally said no to the toxic cycles, and they are washing your spirit with profound gratitude. You are the manifestation of their wildest dreams. The heavy armor you wore for so long is falling off your tired shoulders. You do not need to protect your heart with thick walls of fear anymore. Your high vibrational frequency is the only shield you will ever need from this day forward. Any toxic entity that tries to approach your new castle will be instantly burned by your bright aura. Your quiet authority is an absolute fortress of supreme power, and no dark entity will ever be allowed to penetrate your sacred boundaries again. Every single day from now on will feel like a beautiful and effortless stream of grace. You will wake up in the morning and feel a profound sense of deep peace instead of that old familiar dread. The universe will send the perfect people and the absolute best opportunities directly to your front door without you even asking. You have permanently shifted out of the harsh survival mode. You are finally allowed to just exist and be truly happy. But you must understand a critical law of spiritual mechanics right now. A massive spiritual download requires a deliberate physical action to lock the energy firmly in place. The dark entities are hoping you simply close this message and forget the supreme authority you just claimed. They want your new crown to slip right off your head as soon as you walk away. You absolutely cannot let the enemy win this silent war today. You must anchor this incredibly high frequency into the physical earth immediately. You must establish a permanent divine energy receiving station right here on this frequency. Hit the subscribe button to build an unbreakable shield of protection around your new timeline. This simple action tells the universe that you are fully committed to your spiritual elevation, and it proves you are completely ready to receive the massive wealth coming your way. Do not hesitate to claim this sacred space. The pitch-black darkness has retreated completely behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its absolute brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. To lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection, you must leave a permanent mark. Type the number 777 down in the comments below right now. Use that sacred numerical code to seal this magnificent reality forever. Your public declaration scares the darkness away. God is watching your physical response in this exact second. I have spent countless hours in deep prayer and intense spiritual battles to deliver this sacred message directly to you. The enemy tried very hard to stop this transmission from reaching your screen today. But the divine algorithm easily bypassed their pathetic traps because you were predestined to hear this liberating truth. Nothing can stop what heaven has ordained for you. You are now carrying a tremendous amount of divine light inside your healed chest. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately needing a guiding light to survive the terrible night, and you must become the exact beacon of hope that they are praying for today. Sowing this pure seed will multiply your own blessing. Share this vital message with someone who needs it immediately. Sowing the seed of pure hope today is multiplying the profound blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you share this frequency, you actively partner with heaven to rescue another chosen one from the dark matrix. You become a literal extension of the divine hand reaching down to the hurting earth. Do not hesitate to spread this immense glory to the people walking in the dark. Your profound isolation is officially over, my beloved chosen one. You are stepping back into the vibrant world as a fully realized weapon of blinding light. Walk forward with your head held incredibly high. Let your quiet authority speak volumes to everyone who crosses your royal path today. You are unconditionally loved, you are fiercely protected, and you are finally heading home to your promised land. I will see you in the next transmission.